You are walking past a large dog. You feel nervous, but you smile, keep moving, and try to look completely normal. The dog stops. Its nose lifts. Its eyes follow you. And suddenly you wonder, does it know? People have repeated the same warning for generations. Don't show fear. Animals can smell it. Movies make the idea even stranger. A predator detects one invisible drop of panic, then instantly selects the most frightened person in the room. So, can animals really tell when you're afraid? Yes, some can detect clues associated with fear. But no, they are not reading a glowing label inside your mind. The real answer involves a bundle of signals: movement, posture, gaze, voice, breathing, body chemistry, context, and experience. And there is an important difference between detecting a change in you and understanding exactly what that change means. Let's begin with the clue animals can notice without coming anywhere near your sweat. Your body. Fear changes posture. Shoulders may rise. Muscles stiffen. The body becomes smaller, turns away, or prepares to move. Your steps may shorten. Your hands become unusually still or unusually busy. You hesitate, then suddenly accelerate. Dogs pay close attention to bodies. Eye-tracking research suggests they often inspect bodily emotional information more than human observers do. That makes practical sense. For an animal, movement predicts what happens next. Approach, retreat, play, freeze, or conflict. Even your attempt to look confident can create a signal. A fixed stare may feel confrontational to one animal, while frantic avoidance may look unusual to another. Fear can also change breathing: faster, shallower, less regular. At close range, that alters both sound and motion. A racing heart itself is not a broadcast speaker, but the entire body around it may become a noisy collection of tiny clues. Before smell enters the story, an observant animal may already know that something about you has changed. Then there is your voice. Fear can shift pitch, rhythm, volume, and the stability of a sentence. You may say, "I'm totally fine," while the final word climbs upward and leaves the building. Horses can combine information from human faces and nonverbal vocal sounds, sorting positive and negative emotional signals across senses. They also respond differently to photographs of happy and angry human faces, including changes in looking and heart rate. And the skill is not limited to classic companion animals. In one study, goats distinguished happy from angry human faces and generally approached the happy ones first. That does not prove a goat is thinking, "This human has entered the psychological state called fear." It shows something more modest and still remarkable. Animals can sort human signals into categories that affect their own decisions. Now we can finally ask the famous question: can they actually smell fear? When people are frightened or acutely stressed, the body's autonomic systems change: sweating, skin chemistry, breathing, and the volatile compounds leaving the body. But scientists have not discovered one universal fear molecule floating through the air like a chemical alarm bell. Researchers use the broader term chemosignals, chemical information produced by one individual that can influence another. A typical experiment collects sweat from volunteers watching frightening videos, then collects comparison samples during happy or neutral conditions. The samples can be hidden in identical containers. The animal cannot see the original person, and the observers may not know which sample is which. In dog studies, fear-related human odor has been linked with more stress behavior, greater owner-seeking, exit interest, and changes in heart rate. Trained dogs have also distinguished a person's baseline odor from breath and sweat samples collected during an acute stress task. Notice the wording, distinguished. The dogs detected a difference. That is not automatically the same as naming the emotion behind it. Horses, too, have discriminated human body odors collected in fear and joy contexts. Other work suggests those odors can alter their behavior and physiology. A recent horse experiment found stronger startle responses and less human interaction around fear-related odor than joy or control odor. Researchers sometimes describe this as emotional contagion. One individual's state nudges another individual toward a related state. It sounds mysterious. It isn't telepathy. It is sensory information changing attention, arousal, and readiness to act. Different species live in different sensory worlds. A dog may give smell enormous weight. A horse may monitor posture, distance, tension, and sudden movement. For a prey animal, another creature becoming tense can be valuable information. Maybe danger is nearby, even if the animal cannot see it yet. For a social animal, matching the alertness of nearby companions can keep the group coordinated. Domesticated animals also spend generations and individual lifetimes inside human environments. Our habits become part of what they learn to read. Your dog may learn that a tightened leash, shortened stride, and sudden silence predict an uncomfortable encounter. A horse may respond not only to your internal emotion, but to changes in rein pressure, balance, muscle tension, and timing. In other words, the animal may sense your fear partly because fear changes what you do to the animal. Then a feedback loop can begin. You tense. The animal becomes vigilant. You notice that vigilance and tense even more. Soon, both nervous systems are reacting to each other, while each side concludes the other one started it. Calm behavior can interrupt that loop, but calm does not mean pretending to be fearless or forcing yourself close to an animal. It means creating predictable distance, smooth movement, a softer voice, and an exit route that keeps both parties safe. With an unfamiliar or threatening animal, safety advice comes before psychology. Do not run blindly, corner it, stare it down, or test whether it can smell your courage. Follow species-appropriate guidance and the instructions of the handler, ranger, or animal control professional who understands that situation. And remember, there is no single animal response. Temperament, age, health, socialization, past experience, and the immediate environment all matter. A 2025 dog study found that fear odor influenced behavior, but dogs varied substantially in how they approached and responded to the samples. Laboratory studies also simplify the world. A cotton pad in a test room is not the same as meeting a moving, speaking, nervous human outdoors. Fear and stress overlap, but they are not identical. Exercise, heat, illness, excitement, and anxiety can change body odor and behavior too. So an animal detecting arousal cannot always know what caused it. The cue may say, "Pay attention," not "This person fears me." We should also resist jumping from dogs and horses to every predator, shark, snake, bird, and insect on Earth. A shark can detect extraordinarily faint chemicals in water. That does not mean human fear creates a special shark-attracting perfume. The best answer, then, is layered. Some animals can detect visible, audible, and chemical changes that commonly accompany human fear. They use those changes to adjust attention and behavior, sometimes becoming cautious, stressed, avoidant, curious, or closer to a familiar person. What we cannot assume is that they experience your emotion exactly as you do, or understand the private story that caused it. First, fear changes the body, posture, motion, gaze, breathing, and voice. Second, dogs, horses, and some other animals can discriminate human emotional cues across more than one sense. Third, human fear or stress-related odors can influence animal behavior, but there is no proven magic scent and results vary. Fourth, learning and feedback matter. Animals read what fear makes you do, not merely what you feel. So, yes, an animal may know that something about you is different before another human notices. But if your dog stares at you while you watch a horror movie, relax. It may not know what frightened you. It may simply know this is an excellent time to sit closer.